So a couple years ago, this guitar player starts popping up on my Instagram, and I pretty instantly noticed that his chops are like insane. I mean, every single video I'm seeing, he's just shredding these funk and these gospel licks, like the exact sort of stuff the algorithm was feeding me at that time. So I decided to start following him, and we end up DMing back and forth, and we realize that we're both going to be at NAMM in 2023. And once we get there, he's like, yo, Mike, I want to show you this amp. I'm like, okay, what is it called? And he goes, it's called a simplifier, and you gotta trust me, it's like the real deal. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I like amp pedals. So I get one, and for the next couple weeks, I start fiddling with it, and I really like it, and I start to figure out, okay, I think we might have pretty similar tastes in gear, right? Fast forward to a couple of days ago when I end up getting a DM from that same friend, and if I haven't mentioned, by the way, his name is David Kim. It just says, hey man, I'm gonna be in your area, I'm gonna be doing some videos, some session work, we should definitely hang out, but also, I wanna show you this guitar, and it's called a James Taylor. And I started thinking to myself, you mean like the dude from Fire and Rain? He has a guitar company now? I mean, I've never heard of these guitars in my entire life. So I started doing some investigative journalism online, and I keep finding absolutely nothing about these James Taylor guitars, only about the singers. And I start thinking to myself, okay, maybe I might have read the message wrong. The name was actually James Tyler. And the more I started researching them, I realized that not only were they like the craziest guitars that I had ever seen, I mean, every single one of the guitars on the body had like 10 different switches and knobs that I had never seen anything like it. But also, the more I looked into it, I was like, okay, I've definitely seen one of these before, but why did it look so familiar, and what was it that would make it so special? And I realized the only thing I could do to answer that was to ask him.
All right, let's do this.
When did you get this thing?
I got this 2024, last year.
2024?
Yeah, I think I put my order in 2023. And I worked with the guys at Tyler. They were coming out with these new pickup configurations, and Rich, the general manager, was so kind to make me one of these. And yeah, it's the guitar for LA sessions.
Do you remember the first player you really saw? Because I remember I've seen stuff with Vertex. Who's the player you were just talking about?
I saw Dan Huff.
Dan Huff, that's who it is. He was doing, I forget what, when Mason and his guys, like when they recreate those songs and recreate those parts.
Yeah.
I saw him with this guitar, and when you told me, because when you literally texted me like I'm bringing my James Tyler, and I started to look it up, that's the guy. Every time they would show it, that's the guy.
Dan Huff is the man, and he has his signature. My first, my first guitar teacher, I believe, had a Dan Huff signature.
Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, but the finish first, I believe it's a matte finish. They dunk it in, and it just looks like a marble. It's just so pretty. It's satin finish too, so it's...
Oh, that's satin.
Yeah, it's nice. It doesn't, like, you don't get reflections on it. Locking tuners obviously up here. The headstock. I love it. Some people hate the Tyler. I love it though. And the neck is slightly it's slightly rounded. So if you go from the side, it looks a little scalloped almost. That's why I loved Tyler guitars. His was black, all black, and then tortoise shell, and golden hardware, and it was beautiful.
I mean, this thing.
Yeah.
This thing, it's a little bit different from a Strat. Is the pick guard's different? Yeah.
It is different. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't get the horn right here. It's because it's rounded on the sides, so when you play, it's really comfortable to play. And you come down to the pickup configuration with all these knobs. That's where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So single humbucker, but there's actually a humbucker underneath here as well. So what you can do is these knobs, you can go parallel you're going through parallel signal. So two pickups here, humbucker here, and humbucker here. Or you can do regular split, where it just goes through each coil. Or you can go series, which is a regular way of going through a pickup, like a humbucker series.
Okay.
So the tones are a little different.
Did it feel overwhelming when you had to learn it because of all of this?
I mean, it's still overwhelming.
I feel like every time you talk to me about a guitar specifically, it's something that looks over, because you're the one who told me about the simplifier.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just like knobs.
I really do like knobs. I like the flexibility. I like having options when I'm on the road or in the studio. I don't want to be like, I don't have that sound with me. I want to be able to do that sound. And for this, you can get kind of gnarly sounds. You can get that clean sound and all that.
So you said this is the guitar that you mainly play?
Yes, it's my main session guitar. I just use it for recording for a bunch of festivals, and it was a hip hop record too, and it's great. I use it for CCM, gospel, hip hop, pop.
Is that an LA session player thing? You just need a lot?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're going to a pop session, they might want a Tele sound, they might want a Strat sound, they might want a Les Paul sound, but they don't say specifically that way. They feel the sound.
Yeah.
They're like, sonically, I want this kind of fatter, like thicker sound. So they're not saying a Les Paul, but you kind of have to catch it. They are a bit pricey. So I never thought I could get one, but the Lord was gracious. I got to be, I got in contact with the guys there, and they graciously made one. So yeah.
So is this the only one that's like this?
This one, yes, it's perfectly custom with the mid boost, the lead switch, which is wherever you are in the position up here with the toggle. If you go up like that, it always goes to the bridge in series.
Okay.
As a humbucker. So like these customized, modified, this is my guitar. There's not a guitar like this out there.
Oh my goodness. That was nasty. You just put that preset together. Do you have that preset just like by heart at this point?
So for me, I always start with a nice compressor. And the overdrive I use actually is a capture one they have here from NeuroDSP. It's the BB preamp, the Lone Star amp, Paramedic EQ, which is a master EQ on this. You get cabs with 2 microphones. You get a 57 and a ribbon 160. You pan them each side. Yes, I do. And it's all on Cortex Cloud too. Anyone can get it. It's free. Yeah.
Drive? Yeah.
So that knob right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, go down. Then it will be.
Yeah, because that didn't sound like the bridge. What is this?
So that is actually the bridge, but it's a lead switch. So if you go back here.
Oh!
Now it's active, like
Crazy, dude.
So right now it's actually humbucker.
So right now it's humbucker.
So if you go here, then it's gonna go parallel. It'll be much cleaner.
Parallel. And then you can go to the lead setting on any of them, or
Yes, any of them you would go to the lead setting.
And with this, what's the purple setting?
I think not the purple, the one down E. The one,
Yeah.
that's a chorus.
Oh, okay, I need this. I have this misconception that if you want to sound like that, the pros like that there's an amount of acceptable effects, and it's like a lot of the pros, they use a lot of stuff, and like, that's more than okay. It's not super heavy too. What is this?
Alder?
What does that mean?
Oh, sorry. What's a knob?
Yeah.
That's a mid boost gain control.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So you have a mid boost circuit in it that you can control.
This is the this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
So those are series parallel switches. So you're controlling how the inputs are going into each pickup. So if you go off of the lead switch, and let's say you go to the 4th position, and you have that in series and parallel.
You go. That's beautiful. So at the end of the day, what did we learn? And I think it's to say this. Most of the time when I'm thinking about those really expensive guitars, like into the 5-figure range, like the James Tylers, the first thing that I'm thinking about is, man, that thing must sound immaculate. And don't get me wrong, that guitar sounded amazing, especially when someone as good as David is playing it. But the thing with a lot of these guitar players, especially the session guys like David and Dan Huff, is that sometimes they're not just looking for a guitar that sounds really good. They're looking for a guitar that can do it all in a pinch. And I got a very quick taste of that with my Ibanez Prestige, but like, this is an entirely different level. And I think it just shows how different the gear considerations actually have to be between a real session player and somebody who plays live. Like, those are two completely different worlds with two completely different needs. And it's really cool to learn about them, at least I think. But it doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what you think. So please let me know. Have you tried a James Tyler guitar? Have you heard of them before? What's your favorite guitar with a lot of knobs? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I was really excited, especially since I've only had, I think, one guest on the channel in 2025. And also thank you so much to David. Unbelievable player, but even better dude, and as good of a dude as I've met in this YouTube space. So that was really cool. I'll have all of his links in the description. If you want to know anything more about the Quad Cortex, I'll also have those links. Like and subscribe if you had a good time. And most importantly, like most important of all, have a fantastic night.